Are you thinking of moving to the Nashville or the surrounding area and want to know what it actually costs to live here in 2022? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing with you everything you need to know about the cost of living here in the wonderful state of Tennessee. Hey everyone, I'm Samantha Miller with eXp Realty, and I'm here to talk about the cost of living here in Nashville, Tennessee. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the like button if you find this video helpful. It's so important to talk about the cost of living because if you're thinking of moving here, this can really affect your day-to-day life. Some of you may be moving here from high-cost states and are wondering if it's possible to live off of one income. Or maybe you're taking a huge pay cut when you move and don't know if you can still afford your lifestyle. This low cost of living is a significant reason people are moving to Tennessee, so it definitely deserves some attention. I'm here to talk about it and to see if Nashville is a good fit for you and the lifestyle you want for yourself and your family, whatever that looks like. We'll start off with some fun facts. The state of Tennessee is ranked 6 out of 50 for the lowest cost of living. The cost to live here is about 10% lower than the national average. Housing is almost 7% lower, and healthcare is about 10% lower than the national average. So, is it cheaper? Is it more expensive? Depends on who you ask. There are a lot of different aspects to consider when talking about cost of living. It will depend on where you're moving from and also what area of Nashville you're moving to. I moved here from California, so my perspective will be different from someone moving from a smaller town or a different part of the country. If you're living closer to the city, home prices as well as meals are going to be more expensive than living farther outside of the city. I'm mostly going to focus on the cost of living outside of the city. Since I'm from California, I thought it'd be fun to do a cost comparison to California as well as the national average. So we'll start with the obvious, but most important, which is home price. The median home price here in Nashville or Davidson County is $428,000, which does include the metropolitan area. These are some home prices of some popular cities outside of the downtown area. As you can see, there's quite a variation depending on the area. Also keep in mind that the state of Tennessee median home price is $282,000, give or take, which is actually below the national average. So that's something to consider. So now we'll talk about the median household income. Although this isn't exactly the cost of living, it allows you to compare your household income to those who live in the counties surrounding downtown Nashville. This information is available on the U.S. Census Bureau website, and just remember that these are averages. So let's talk about taxes. There is no state income tax here in Tennessee. That allows you to keep more of your hard-earned money and has been a big incentive for people to move here. In certain states where you're taxed upwards of 8 to 10%, this can be a big change financially. Before my husband and I moved, I was doing some simple math and figured out that basically one of our car payments would be covered just by not being taxed on our wages. Although you are not taxed on your wages, it is important to know that Tennessee does collect income tax on interest and dividends on investments. So if you've been trading cryptocurrencies or have invested in the stock market, look into those regulations beforehand. Utilities. One thing to consider when moving here from certain parts of the country is that summers are very hot and winters are pretty chilly. So you do use your heat and air pretty much year round. The average cost of an energy bill is about $125 a month. And once again, remember this is an average. All other utilities like cable, Wi-Fi, trash are about the same as other states. And for those living in California, your cost of your kilowatt hour is about half. So although you will probably be using more electricity, your energy bill still will probably cost less. Food and groceries. The general consensus is that groceries cost about 7% less than the national average. This is an example of some common grocery items. I just threw in California for fun because why not? So as you can see, milk, bread, and eggs are all below the national average. So now we'll talk about eating out, but I have to start with a fun fact. Did you know the average American dines out 6 times a week and spends about $300 a month? So the best way to break this down is by price per meal. So the average commercial prepared meal costs about $13 per person. In Tennessee, it's about $12, and in California, it's about $15 per person. This is obviously an overall average per state, but based on my personal experience, the price in food and drinks here is pretty average and is not overpriced. Gas. Since gas prices fluctuate so much, we'll go off a percentage. Gas is about 7% lower than the national average here. And compared to California, 35% cheaper, which is pretty significant. Overall, Tennessee has been a wonderful place for me and my family. And since the cost of living is lower than most of the United States, people here are friendly and less stressed. If you're from somewhere like New York or California, you might think these people have an ulterior motive to their kindness, but don't worry, no one's trying to sell you anything. Having a work-life balance has a domino effect on the culture of the community and their perspective on quality of life. I hope you enjoyed this information, and I hope to help you in some way. I want to continue to be a resource and help you navigate the relocation process. So please reach out or drop a comment below if you have any questions or are thinking of moving to the Nashville area.